Hey everyone, I just wrapped up the video right now. I just wanted to say I'm trying to cover my face throughout this video, well, half of my face throughout this video because, yeah, I had a bit of a waxing incident. Yeah, I was kind of just messing around with wax and I wanted to fit in like everyone else. I just wanted to try it out. And I didn't realize I am allergic to cosmetic wax. I've done waxing before, not on myself. I've helped other people get waxed and it's been fine, so I know how to do it. It's just the actual wax itself, I'm allergic to it. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. I was just trying to cover this up because I'm very self-conscious about it and I hate it, but enjoy the rest of the video. Hey everyone, oh my gosh, this is so weird. I know I haven't uploaded in literally a month and there's no real explanation for that. I'm kind of just, I wanted a break and I didn't want to force any content out, and also for the first 2 weeks I didn't upload podcasts or anything because of the whole situation with the world right now with the Black Lives Matters movement. I was gonna make a Black Lives Matters podcast, but I didn't want to kind of, come on here and educate you guys if I hadn't educated myself on the topic first. I just thought it wasn't right, so I took my time, took part in like petitions and like donating if I could, and just reposting articles and trying to learn about the issues and racism that black people face. And I still won't be doing a podcast on it, but I am constantly reposting articles and things like that on my Instagram, and I it's not a plug, I promise. I don't care if you follow my Instagram or if you don't follow it, just go in there to check out things to do with the Yemen crisis, the whole Black Lives Matters articles, and the pay up movement, the pay up thing that's going on right now. Sorry, I really forgot, I forgot how to English. But I have 2 highlights on my Instagram called political and political with the 2 in it, because my highlights got full. So even if you don't follow me on Instagram, just please check out those highlights, check the link in my bio, sign petitions, and just really educate yourself on all these topics, because these issues won't go away unless we all educate ourselves and educate those around us. So yeah, with that out of the way, I'm just gonna get on with today's video. So as of June 20th, a few days ago, marked my 6 months post-industrial, and I figured, I always used to watch these videos before I got my industrial, and when I was thinking about getting my industrial, just to see how it would look like and how it would feel a few months down the line. And honestly, it feels like I've had my industrial a lot longer than 6 months. It feels like I've had it a year or so, but I haven't. This is just 6-ish things I learned in the 6 months of having my industrial so far. So my piercing isn't fully healed, but it is obviously a lot more healed than it was when I first got it done. Although I could move the barbell literally 10 or 20 minutes after I got my industrial, and I'm not sure if it was just the shock that kind of was just like, oh, my ear's numb now. But even though I didn't get any numbing cream or anything like that during the piercing, it was kind of just like, I'm curious about this. What is this thing in my ear? But obviously I stopped touching it from then on because 1, you're not supposed to touch it full stop when it's healing, and 2, your ear can get really agitated in the first week or so of having your industrial. So just whatever you do, keep your fingers off of it at all costs. And also, if you do want to see me getting my actual industrial, it is a bit graphic. There's not that much blood or anything, it's just graphic because I have a needle going through my head. But if you do want to check that out, that's one of my first videos on this channel, so be sure to check that out if you'd like to. So the first thing, my industrial is not healed, but a lot of the time it looks like it is healed, and it kind of feels like it's healed some days and other days it doesn't. And sometimes I kind of just look at my industrial, I'm like, I really want to change the barbell from the get-go, I wanted to get it pierced with a black barbell because I knew how long I was going to have it. Like, I knew it would take 1 year at least to heal before I could change it and be comfortable changing it. And my brother is looking at me from the window. Shut up! My brother is being an idiot. Yeah. I knew how long I was gonna take to heal, and it would take 1 year to fully be comfortable changing the barbell, and I was gonna get pierced with a black barbell initially, but the piercer didn't have any black barbells in stock, and I wanted to get pierced that same week for my 18th birthday, my 18th birthday present to myself. What are you doing? For God's sake. So I didn't get it pierced with a black barbell. I kind of just said I'd change it when I do heal up, and I was fine. But some days it just kind of does look like it's fully healed up and you want to change it, and then when you go to touch it, it's like, ow, it hurts a lot. It is literally the epitome of a girl or person, 2020, on their period. Peaceful 1 minute and angry balls of rage the next. But that's kind of the general thing about the piercing. Now I'll just move on to the actual things I've picked up and learned. So this is 6 and a bit things I've learned in the 6 months of having my industrial piercing. The first thing, obviously, is self-explanatory. Everyone mentions this for a reason, including everyone who makes industrial videos and your piercer, and literally everyone who knows about piercings around you. Don't stop cleaning it. There's a reason they tell you not to stop cleaning it after you think it's healed, because literally the second you stop cleaning it, it flares up, it goes ugly, and you're gonna regret not cleaning it. Literally, I didn't have the intention to stop cleaning it. I accidentally, not accidentally, I was so tired these couple of nights in a row, and I didn't clean it because we had a full-on day the couple of days before that, and I was just like, I'm tired, I'm going straight to bed. And then the morning after the second night where I didn't clean it, it really flared up. And this wasn't in the first couple of months. This was literally maybe about 2 or 3 weeks ago, so it was around the 6-month mark. So don't stop cleaning it, even if you think it's healed. I know there's people online who are like, oh, 4 months, my industrial's already healed up. Honey, it's not. It's really not. Like, I know everyone's body is different, but the reason that the average time for an industrial to heal up is between 6 to 12 months is because it takes 6 to 12 months. It's cartilage. It's going to take ages to heal. And if you're not in it for the long run, you're not in it for any run. You're not going to get the industrial that you want it to look like. You will probably be left with scar bumps and keloids and just inflammation. Inflammation is the worst because you literally feel it in your whole ear, and it's horrible. But don't stop cleaning it. Leading on from that, kind of similar in that kind of boat, don't clean it in the shower. I know loads of blog posts and stuff say you can clean it in the shower, and you can kind of save the time and clean it in the shower, but don't clean it properly in the shower. If you have crusties and stuff around the edges, you can use your fingers and some antibacterial soap or unscented soap to kind of clean the crusties off. But the actual piercing holes and stuff, don't clean that in the shower because your ears become so sensitive in the shower, and it just really will irritate it, especially with shampoo and stuff you may have in your hair and shower gel on your body. It will irritate it and it will just become agitated. So I usually wash my ear after I get out of the shower because shampoo and cream and lotion and stuff can collect in the piercing. So I always wash it with salt water and warm water after I come out of the shower, so it kind of tackles everything in one. But I never wash it in the shower unless there's visible crusties and stuff, because you do have to clean crusties as soon as you see them because they ruin your piercing. So do that, please. The third thing, now this isn't something that I've learned, kind of, I guess you could say, but this is something I would take into consideration. So for the first 2 months or so, I wasn't cleaning with salt water with warm salt water. I was using diluted tea tree oil, and tea tree oil is typically used when you have keloids and what's it called, scar bumps, those kind of things. But I kind of just wanted to tackle it all in once, and I was experimenting, and I figured, tea tree oil is for healing, maybe it will heal this faster. And I used it in a really diluted concentration, so it wasn't too acidic or anything. It was fine, and I wouldn't regret changing it. I wouldn't regret starting off with tea tree oil. However, I would take into consideration that I would alternate between saltwater soaks and tea tree oil scrubs. I feel like instead of doing, because I done the tea tree oil soak and like the actual scrubbing of the piercing, and that's why I would change. I would do the whole scrubbing with the tea tree oil, diluted tea tree oil, and I would do the actual soaks with sea salt water instead. I feel like that would be most beneficial, because the tea tree oil was fine. It didn't really damage my ears, and it's fine. So I just would alternate between the two. The fourth thing, when you catch your industrial piercing, everyone tells you, like, when you catch it with your finger or a hairbrush, it's going to be the worst pain you've ever felt. It's going to hurt so bad. It doesn't really hurt that bad. I don't know if my pain tolerance is just really high. I don't think my pain tolerance is super high, but actually it might be high, because I had 4 things wrong with my feet, and I waited 2 years to get surgery for them. So I was just carrying on my daily life without getting surgery because I was afraid of doctors. Now I want to be one. But I don't think my pain tolerance is that high. I definitely think it's moderately high, but just generally, like, getting your industrial piercing quartz doesn't hurt that bad. Like, it hurts a lot, and don't get me wrong, it stings, but it's not as bad as everyone makes it seem. Like, literally, I think 30 minutes or 40 minutes after I got my actual industrial piercing, I went to brush my hair because it started getting tangled in the top piercing. So I kind of went like that, and then it got caught, and it hurt, but it didn't hurt as bad as I thought it was gonna hurt. I was kind of just like flinching, and I was like, oh no, it's gonna hurt, and then it didn't hurt that bad. So that's something to consider. I am being summoned. I will be right back. Okay, so I don't know if the angle slightly changed or not, but in YouTube time that was literally maybe a fraction of a second. Real time, it's been about 3 hours since I shot the last clip. So if it's slightly off angle a bit from the last clip, that's why. As you saw, I was summoned. I just had to take care of a few things, and now I'm back. So I can't remember the last thing I said. I think it was something about oh right, it was it doesn't exactly hurt that much if you catch your piercing or if it gets tugged a bit. Like, don't get me wrong, it stings, but it does not feel like you just took a bullet to the head. It feels like uncomfortable, and it does start to heat your ear up a bit, but that's about it. But again, take it with a grain of salt. Different bodies, different pain tolerances, so don't quote me if you like accidentally catch your piercing and you're like, hey mate, this bloody hurts. But yeah, take it with a grain of salt. The next thing is you forget it's there, and I don't know if it's just me or if it's everyone who experiences this, but I genuinely forget it's there sometimes, because obviously I've had it for 6 months, and you get used to something in about a month, like they say, like habits and stuff. Like, not that this is a habit, but like just generally new things, you kind of forget about it after 30 days or so. So 6 months down the line, even like maybe a couple weeks after I got my actual piercing, I just forgot about it. Like, because I wanted the piercing for 1.5 years. So I saw the piercing initially, and then I was gonna get it booked like about 6 or 5 months after I saw it. Then I chickened out from the first booking, and I left it for another year just to fully make sure I wanted the piercing, and just to fully make sure like I knew what I was getting myself into about the whole 1 year healing thing, and it was fine. So I got the piercing for my 18th birthday and I don't regret it at all, and I'm actually glad I waited the 1.5 years that I did, because it fully like made me sure that I wanted the piercing. Even building up to the booking, I wasn't scared. I was just like, I want this piercing like now. But yeah, because I wanted it for so long, you kind of just forget that it's there, because researching it for like a year, you're like, oh, like I want the piercing that they have, and then you're like, oh wait, I have it, now what? Like you had something to look forward to, and to like kind of yeah, just something to look forward to. I'm sorry, I really can't English, but just something to look forward to, and it was just like, oh wow, I have that piercing, that's awesome. But you really forget it's there, and sometimes it's in the worst possible times you forget it's there, like when you going to like put your hair back, you're like, oh shit, I have a piercing. And also in public, it's really weird sometimes. Like I'm just like waiting in the line to like pay for my groceries or something, and although it's not uncommon to have an industrial piercing, it definitely is less common than regular like single cartilage piercings or double lobe piercings. It definitely stands out amongst them. So I'll be standing in the line, and then someone will be looking at my ear, and I'll be thinking it's my gauges, because I also have gauges. And I'm like, oh wait, it's my industrial, I have a metal rod through my head. That makes sense. But yeah, you forget it's there in the best and worst times. Just something for you to think about. Another thing is, if you're weird like me and a bit stupid, but oh well, you get your industrial on the side you sleep on, and I knew this when I was getting my industrial piercing. I was going to get it on my side that I sleep on. I just prefer the way it looks on my left side than my right side, which if any of you guys can tell, I am covering my right side right now with the microphone, because yeah, I had a waxing incident. Yeah, that happened. I'll talk about that in the next podcast that I eventually film, but let's just say I'm allergic to cosmetic wax, and I did not know about that after I put it all over my face when I got bored. And I just wanted to fit in with everyone else, and I just wanted to see what the hype was about a full facial wax, and I did it, and I'm allergic, and I had hives everywhere, so I'm just trying to cover this, and I'm really self-conscious about it, so I'm just, yeah, let's not talk about her. But it's terrible, and I hate it, so let's ignore it. But yeah, if you do get your industrial on your sleeping side, or if you move around a lot when you sleep, you kind of accidentally find new sleeping positions. Like just a few days ago, or maybe a week ago, I fell asleep and then I found a new sleeping position that was a lot like my sleeping position that I liked before I had this industrial piercing. And I remember the night of the piercing, I was just like, I'm not going to be able to sleep like this for a whole year at least. And I found a similar sleeping position on my opposite side, and it's like, oh wow, this is interesting, but it's cool. So you kind of find comfortable sleeping positions. Don't get me wrong, the first 3 months or 4 months, it's horrible. Like, you can't sleep the way you want to. You get neck cramps, back cramps, full body aches because you're sleeping on a travel pillow. If this is your first industrial piercing video you're watching, you have to sleep on a travel pillow for the first few months until it's healed, just so the bar doesn't bend and it doesn't damage your ear and the way your piercing holes are healing. So yeah, so just finding like weird positions to sleep in is interesting, and it just makes you all that more comfortable. So that's something weird that I picked up on. It were definitely over 6 things I learned, but we'll keep on going just for the heck of it. Now, last but not least, this might be controversial to some people. It definitely is a polarizing opinion. Going into getting this piercing. Okay, the sun's literally going down, so I have to make the last couple points quick. So yeah, again, controversial, polarizing opinion. The actual piercing itself, you know, like doing the research and all of that, everyone says it's like one of the hardest piercings to get through. But this is including the healing process, of course. But just the piercing itself, people are like deathly afraid of it, and I was too, because of everyone saying that the piercing is like, it's super scary. It's like this huge like it's on the top tier list of like most painful piercings, and I was just like, oh damn, I'm getting that. Okay, cool. And I understand, you know, cartilage, you're going through that twice because 2 piercings, and it's like, okay, well, that will hurt. And then it happened, and the actual piercing pain literally lasts like 10 seconds because it's just a jab twice and that's it. But the actual the part where they put the needle in is fine. That doesn't hurt. Like, it hurts. It's like a sharp sting. It's like if you were to get like a, I don't know if this is a common thing or not. If you've had like a cannula put into your hand or wherever you've had a cannula, it feels like that. Like the same amount, same time, like same duration. It feels exactly like that. I've had a cannula, so it literally feels the same, just in your ear. But the part where they put the jewelry into the fresh wounds, that hurts. Like, not hurts, but like it stings for 30 seconds and it feels a bit hot. But after that, when you go home, I guess the shock and adrenaline of it all, you're kind of just like, wow. And it does feel weird having the metabar at first. For a few days, you're kind of just like, wow, I have a bar in my ear, and it does have a bit of weight to it, but eventually you get used to that after a bit, because you realize you have an industrial piercing there. But it's fine, honestly. Like, the piercing itself didn't hurt, it's just the healing process. But the actual piercing, if you're afraid to get it done, like, I've never had any piercings other than standard earrings, but honestly, starting off with an industrial piercing as my first like cartilage piercing probably wasn't the best idea, but I'm glad I done it because I love it and it's my favorite piercing. But yeah, take it with a grain of salt about the pain and everything. But different bodies, different pain tolerances. I don't know how many times I need to say that, but don't quote me on any of this. If you get your industrial and it's like it's super painful, I'm sorry. All in all, the hardest thing about the industrial is just sticking to the cleaning and not touching it and taking good care of it in the long run. Because if you're not in it for the long run, you're not in it for no run, because your industrial will either reject or it will just go terribly and your skin will start to swell and your cartilage will eat away at itself. Yes, that happens if you don't take care of it properly, so take care of it, please. Please take care of it, and don't get your piercing in Claire's. They sell industrial jewelry there and everything. Don't do any of that. And when you buy industrial jewelry, make sure it's titanium or, you know, surgical steel if you must. But titanium is the best way to go. This is titanium. And for anyone curious, this is still my piercing jewelry. I haven't changed my piercing. I haven't changed my barbell. I'm gonna change it at 1 year. But it's a 14 gauge 36mm, and honestly, when I get my new barbell at 1 year, I'm gonna stick with the 36mm just because you don't know when it might start to swell up and get angry again. So I'm just gonna stick with the 36mm to make space for swelling in case I accidentally knock it. But I think that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up here, guys. Thank you so much for watching my kind of YouTube comeback. Oh, I hate myself. But thank you so much for watching this video. Hopefully I do make more videos. I haven't been completely absent during my break off of YouTube. I've been making so many new, like, easily easily tackled ideas. There we go. Easily tackled ideas that I can kind of film and put out easily, and they don't require that much editing. So I have been brainstorming loads of ideas like that, and I have one to film either this week or in 2 weeks time, and I'm super excited for it, so stay tuned for that. Hopefully I'll get back onto my weekly podcast schedule soon. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned for industrial piercing updates, because I have a cleaning video coming soon. And if you want any more industrial content, I have 2 other industrial videos somewhere on my channel. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Have a great morning, evening or night, and goodbye.